Hi, Gary here from MrG Shave, back for another Friday head shave, beginning of the weekend. So yeah, got to smarten yourself up for that a bit, haven't you? Got to give it a go. Just checking my recording levels. Yeah, it's recording. I have to check all the time, and I still have my Zoom H1N attached to the side of this other microphone so that just in case I get any problems, I've got a backup. Anyway, what am I using today? Well, I'm using a razor that I don't think I've used on my head before. I was just looking, I was trying to decide which razor to use, and I suddenly spotted this razor and I thought, you know, I've hardly ever used it, plus you know, I don't think I've ever used it on my head, so that's what I'm going to use. But first I'll go with the brush. It's the Yaqi White Knight 30mm brush. Love this brush, great performer. The razor, I'm using a cream, so you know it's the usual thing for the dome shaves. I nearly always use a cream for the dome. No particular reason, it's just so that I get to use creams more. The razor today is the original supply razor. So this isn't a version 2 or anything, this is the original supply razor. I have at the moment no intention of getting the new version, although I have been tempted. It's something that, you know, I just couldn't really justify, and I'm sure this will shave pretty good anyway, so at least I hope so. And I've still got the original blades with it, so they come in a box like that. And these are a white plastic container, chic style blades, and all you do with these is you basically line up this tongue with the side of the razor here, sort of at the top, and push in. Oh no, wrong way around. What am I doing? It's difficult to do in front of the camera. So that the rails line up with the head, and then you just insert the blade and pull out, and that's the blade in there, brand new blade. So let me just make sure that's all worked correctly and that I haven't got to adjust anything. There's nothing left here, nothing left here, and it's perfectly inserted, so that looks great. Go on, that's it. That is in perfectly. So, and as is my usual thing, because I'm using a cream, I'm not going to go off and lather up or anything like that. I'm just going to continue with the shave. So how's your week been? I hope you've had a great and successful week. Got everything done you wanted to get done. Let's make sure somebody's at the door, probably my son. I'm having a Tabac shave today, so pretty much everything here is Tabac apart from one item of software. Let's just get that brush in to the water. So I am using Tabac pre-shave oil or shaving oil. What's it actually say on here? I think it says beard and shaving oil. So you can use this for your beard. I didn't even know that. I think I've only used this once or twice. So it's got a pipette. Let's get some in there. And let's just put a little bit on my hands and rub it on the dome, on my solar panel. That feels great. Nice scent to it as well. I don't need to lather that up or, you know, rub it in too much. It's just straight on with a bit more water. And then I'm using Tabac shaving cream. So I've got the puck as well, I've got the hard soap, but I only really use that on the face. And this is sort of a yellowy colour. I'm not sure whether it's supposed to be like that, but that's what it is. A bit off-putting really. But The smell or the scent is really good. It's quite a runny cream, it's not a thick cream. So I only gave that tube a slight squeeze and a load came out. So let's go for it. A bit more water, I think. So yeah, been a interesting week. Monday was a nightmare because I was ill and I had a lot to do on Monday which I had to get done. I couldn't just lie in bed and sulk because I'd got a cold. It was, but I really didn't feel like doing anything on Monday. But by Wednesday I was okay. Got over it. I don't think it was COVID, so I did do a test early on. I didn't do a test after that, so it could have been COVID, but I doubt it because I was already experiencing symptoms when I did the test, but only mild symptoms. It was right at the beginning, the first couple of days. This is quite thin, I'm surprised. I don't remember it being like this. It needs a bit of work, I think. A bit more water. I've had quite a few people ask where I get my spray lately. I go through phases of people asking me where I get the spray. I get it on Amazon and it's basically a hairdresser's spray, water spray bottle. If you search up that, you'll find one that looks very similar to mine. Mine's lasted for quite a while now, so I'm very pleased with it. I must admit, at the price I paid for it was a few pounds. I didn't think it was going to last long, but it's done a great job. Oh, I love the scent of Tabac. Absolutely love the scent of Tabac. So here we go. Let's just warm up the razor in the water. Obviously a warm shave. Let's see how this performs on the dome. With a fresh blade in it. It's first impressions. I think you've got to dial the angle in to start with, and it feels a touch on the aggressive side, but it feels like it's doing a great job. I'm sure this will dig in though if you don't get the angle right. But it feels great. It feels really good. Oh yeah. It's always a little bit stressful when you are using a razor on your dome for the first time. You don't know how it's going to perform. I think the skin on your face is tougher, and you have so many blood vessels in your dome underneath the skin that even the slightest cut can bleed like a stuck pig. I think I've actually just taken probably a little bump off on the top of my dome, but it's not too bad. This feels great. To be honest, I was expecting it to do a great job. I really was. I really enjoy using single edge razors on my dome, like the Twig or the Blackland Vector. I don't know why, but I just get a feeling that they're more efficient. Mind you, there's a lot left there, but that's not surprising after the first pass. The dome feels a little bit dry, so I'm going to add some more water. Yeah, so I'm enjoying this so far. Yeah, I don't know why, but sometimes, and I'm not accusing supply of doing this at all, you know, please don't misunderstand me, but sometimes I think, you know, you get different versions of razors just to increase the sales revenue, you know, to get people to buy multiple of the same razor. I'm sure with supply that's not the case. They have, I'm sure there have been some pretty, I think there have been pretty big improvements. I saw some reviews about it some time ago now, and it looks different. You've got two new ones. I think you've got one with what looks like an open comb, or a comb on it of some sort, and I think that's a milder version of the one that I've got, although correct me if I'm wrong. And then I think they've got an adjustable as well. But I have to have a good reason to buy a razor. There has to be a reason behind it. That, you know, I'm not just going to go out and buy one for the sake of buying it. Either the reviews have to be spectacularly good, and it needs to be, oh, I haven't opened that door, let's do that. And it needs to be somewhat different to what I've already got, or offer something, a different experience. And lately I haven't seen any reviews of any razors that have kind of fitted that criteria. So I have ordered a straight razor, and it is a special razor. It's different to anything that I've got, and there's a reason behind buying it, so I could easily justify the cost, and it was quite a considerable cost. So I'm really, you can probably tell because I've mentioned it in the last two videos and this one, so I'm really looking forward to get it. I should get it around the end of October, maybe the beginning of November, but I'm seriously looking forward to that. This feels great. I'm really pleased with this. Hasn't done too much damage. I think it's taken the top off a bump on my dome, or my solar panel as I like to call it. The one thing I would say is I'm sure once I get used to using it, I'm sure I would be much more comfortable using it. At the moment I feel like I'm focusing a lot to try and get the angle just right. It's not as easy as, say, the twig, which I find very easy to find the angle, or the leaf razor, the pivoted with the pivoting head. That's brilliant. So the proof will be in the pudding on the third and final pass. I don't think I've actually seen anybody use one of these on their dome. I just probably haven't been looking for it, to be honest. I mean, the only reason I chose this today, as you know, we're sort of redecorating one of the bedrooms, which is turned into a fairly major job, and we had to take the walls back to the brickwork, because we worked out there must have been at least 7 layers of wallpaper on there that had been stuck on with some kind of adhesive that just, it was waterproof basically, so you couldn't steam it off. So in the end we had to chisel everything off the wall, including the plaster obviously. So here we go, against the grain. It's caught me a few times on the dome. It does feel like you've got to pay this a bit more respect. It's interesting, but I am finding the angle now quite easily. I'm not applying any pressure. And that's BBS. That's brilliant. Look at that though, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm really surprised at that. But yeah, I am having to concentrate. It is a new razor and I'm just making sure, or trying not to make mistakes. Ooh, might have caught myself there. It's either that or the other thing I really don't like about this razor is it's very slippery. Even I haven't got any soap on it, but it still feels like it could easily slip out of my hand. And I don't think they've changed that on the newer version. I think you've got to buy like a silicone sleeve that goes over it, which obviously I don't have. But this feels great. Right, let's have a feel around and see where we're at. Okay, there's a little bit there that I haven't got. Just a little bit left there, almost like a tram line. That's it, just a tiny bit there. And that's it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is BBS. Perfect. Perfect. Not bad. Not bad. I don't feel as comfortable using this as I do the twig or the leaf or the Henson or the DeLorean, which is the Yaqi tile and the bolt handle. But that's done a cracking job for the first time I've used it on the dome, and having used it now, I'm almost 100% certain I've never used that on the dome before. So, pleasant experience. I had to focus. I would say that the only issues with the supply razor, which have always been the issue, is the slickness of the handle. So it's a bit slippery, especially if you get soap on your hands or soap on the handle. You'd have to clean it off and dry your hands and dry the handle before you use it, otherwise you could really have a bad hiccup. But other than that, I just had to focus on the angle on the dome, purely because I'm not used to it, and I don't, you know, that is easily rectified. I just got to shave again and again and again with it until I'm comfortable. Anyway, right, I'm going to do my usual thing. I'm going to clean up and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back, all cleaned up, ready for the post shave. Skin feel with that Tabac shaving cream feels nice, feels really nice, well moisturised if you like. Time for the cold rinse. great. So I'm going to use the alum just to see what feedback I'm going to get, and I know I'm going to get feedback. Nothing yet, but where I've taken bits of my scalp off, I think that's going to sting. Yep. But actually, surprisingly, there's not a lot of feedback. Apart from where, I must have cut myself there a bit. Apart from where I've removed a layer of skin, there's next to no feedback at all. So that's a really good result. Concentrate on that bit, see if I can get that to stop. It will stop, it's not a problem. Purely because there's a lot of water on there. I keep saying it, that alum is almost completely gone. I have got another. Would I get another one of those? I think I prefer the square ones. I really do. So once I've used those up, I'll go back to the Osmo block or whatever it's called. I know that Bluebeard's Revenge do them as well. I haven't used them in a long time. So here we go, I'm just going to wipe this off. Oh, that feels so good. Really nice, smooth shave. It feels fantastic. Right, I'm going to use, this is the only thing that isn't Tabac. I'm going to use my Boots Tea Tree and Witch Hazel. Just throw that on the dome. Tiniest bit of feedback, 1 out of 10 at the most. But my God, my dome feels so smooth. I would say that's one of the more aggressive razors that I've used on my dome. That's what it felt like, and I was, you know, I had to focus. So, Tabac Aftershave. I do love Tabac. I know it has its fans and its haters, but I'm a fan. Oh yeah. That is fantastic. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to try a bit of this in my beard. Let's see what it's like. Can't do any harm. You watch all my hair, all my beard falls out. Lovely scent off that. Lovely scent. Right, what have I got left to do? So I've done the aftershave. It's now time for the Tabac Balm. So, great Tabac shave. I always enjoy using Tabac products. Oh. Lost a bit into the sink, never mind. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of today's head shave. I have a special razor tomorrow. I received it this week. It's come to me on a pass around from John June. So instead of my final Magnificent 11 shave, it will be this vintage razor that I've been sent, which is quite special. So I think it's the closest you can get to using a straight. So let's see how we get on with it. But yeah, so I've got a little bit of trepidation about the shave tomorrow. I will have a backup in place just in case. So you'll have to watch tomorrow to see what it is. It's quite a special razor, really. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.